A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart.
You're a slut. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of The Sharp Reality. At Donovan_Sharp is where you can follow me on Twitter. And if you guys have any questions, comments, show ideas, or if you have personal stories you want to share, go to the contact tab on my homepage, donovansharp.com, and drop me your thoughts. You can find all episodes of TSR right here on YouTube. You can also find them on SoundCloud as well as iTunes. If you want to support the show at no cost to you, bookmark the Amazon link in the sidebar of my homepage and do all your Amazon shopping through that link. And make sure you guys sign up for my weekly newsletter on donovansharp.com just above the Amazon affiliate link. And don't worry, we're not going to spam you or give away your information. It is common knowledge in the manosphere, or at least men in the know, that American females, Western females, are flaky. They're disloyal, they're slutty. They generally don't bring anything of value to a man's life outside of sex. This makes being friends with them even less attractive, an even less attractive proposition, because spending a time with a woman without the prospect of fucking her usually isn't worth the headache, alright? Listen, it's enough of a headache spending time with a woman that you are fucking. Spend the time with a woman that you're not. Number one, you shouldn't be doing it anyway. And number two, it's too much of a headache not to be fucking a woman you're spending time with. It just doesn't. It's not a zero sum. You are in the red in that regard. There are, however, a few things that females can bring to the table that can be quite useful to you, but only if you understand their true nature and how to more or less mitigate their hardwired deficiencies. Now, keep in mind, of the 8 suggestions, all of these 8 suggestions I'm going to make here, certain conditions apply. You have to have game, as is the case with every female you interact with, whether sex is involved or not. You've got to have social currency, and you have to have attractive female accomplices to reap these benefits. So again, you have to have game, you've got to have some social proof, and you have to be friends with good-looking females. Obviously, that's not going to happen overnight, but if these things aren't in place, you're not going to get much from females outside of sex, which is what this is about. So let's go ahead and get to it. Number one, the first usefulness, the first thing you get out of women is that they will screen other women for you. We all know women hate each other because they know each other. So when you bring a girl you happen to be fucking, when you bring her around those female acquaintances, your female friends, they're not going to hesitate to alert you of any red flags that you may not see. Women see things that we as men don't as a matter of survival. So their supernatural ability to pick up on subtle nuances in human behavior comes in handy in these situations. Now, granted, women do tend to embellish or hamster things into existence out of thin air on account of their innate disdain for one another. This is just how they are. If they see a red flag, they're going to blow it up and make it seem like it's just the end of the world. But your game, your knowledge, your experience with women will allow you to filter out that particular brand of bullshit, and will allow you to sort of hear what needs to be heard so that you can take the appropriate action. Number 2, they give you instant social proof. This goes back to one of the conditions that I was talking about. When girls see attractive women with or around you, it instantly gives you social proof. We all know this. Good-looking girls are much more selective about the people they spend their time with, and other women know this. If attractive women trust you enough to be around you, then it's assumed by other attractive females that you must be trustworthy. In other words, that you're not a creep or an axe murderer, etc. Women generally don't want to be around a man who is labeled as a creep or a recluse or anything like that. This is why having a good looking female or two in your physical orbit when you are hitting on a cashier or hitting on a girl at the club or striking up conversation with the girl who makes your coffee, this is why it works in your favor. Now, another advantage to having good looking girls around you is my number three reason, which is pre selection. Now, I'm going to tell you guys about a text conversation. It's actually, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll actually be able to see it on screen. But for those of you who just have this on and just listening to it in the background, you guys can follow. You guys can follow along. I'm also going to put this in on my PodPicks section on DonovanSharp.com, so you guys will be able to go and see it. Now this was years ago. This was right after I found the red pill, and I'm living down in Vegas. So I met this girl, and I was actually with a girl I was fucking at the time. And the girl I was fucking at the time was in another part of the grocery store, and I saw this good-looking Mexican girl, or who I thought was Mexican, and I went and talked to her, struck up conversation, got her number. It was a 5-minute conversation. So later on, what I did is I basically started a conversation with her. Now I didn't do this that night. I think we were there that afternoon. Took the girl I was with back to my place, fucked her, she, got up, went to work or whatever. So then the next morning, I decided to strike up conversation because I knew that because the girl that I was fucking at the time had to work that night, and I wanted to get laid, and this girl was a prime candidate. So I texted her, I said, well, what, and the girl's name was Trinidad. And so I asked her, I said, she told me her name was Trini, so I started the text conversation. I said, what's Trini short for? She tells me Trinidad. So I ask, you're Mexican, right? Again, this is forcing her to qualify herself to me. I'm asking her if she's Mexican. She's asking my questions. And for those of you who aren't familiar, I have a weakness for Latina girls. I've probably fucked more Mexican girls than El Chapo, because they're easy targets down in Vegas. Anyway, so her response to my question is, yeah, why? She wanted to know why I wanted to know she was Mexican. I instantly just reframed. This is a standard rule of game. Never answer a girl's questions directly because that gives her control of the conversation. She's leading the conversation. If she's asking and you're answering, she is in control. You stay in control. So she asks me, yeah, why? I reframe and asked her another question. I said, is your hair always fire engine red? Her hair was fire engine red. That's actually what I noticed about her, is that her hair was like a shocking, unnatural, like fire engine red. So she says, LOL, I'm just trying it out. She says, do you not like red or something? So now at this point, she's thinking, oh man, does he not like my hair? Like, I mean, what's the deal? So she's no longer thinking about making me qualify myself to her. She's now qualifying herself to me. And so my answer to her question is, I get bored easy. And so she says, her response is, well, I like to change it up sometimes. So already she's letting me know, okay, well, I understand you're bored, but I like to change things up sometimes. Don't worry, if we're fucking, you're not going to get bored. So I told her that I was going to a go-kart track that night. And I didn't ask her, I told her, I said, I'm going, and I forget the name of the go-kart track, but I said, I'm going to XYZ go-kart track tonight. Come with me. So then she tries to play the game. She says, well, a little bossy, are we? My response was, my 9-year-old niece is bossy. I'm direct. Meet me there at 7. So at this point, she is turned on, and I know she's turned on because I gave her instructions to meet me there at 7. I didn't ask her if she was busy. I didn't ask her if she had plans. I didn't ask her to come with me. I said, meet me there at 7. And so then she asks about now see, here's the thing. I didn't think that she saw me and the girl that I was fucking at the grocery store, but I guess she did, and she threw me a bit of a curveball, but I handled it brilliantly. She says, what about the girl you were with last night? Or I guess it was at night, is when she saw us. I thought it was in the afternoon. It looks like it was at night. I said, she's a close friend. She's working tonight. So she knows I'm lying because the girl I was with was hot. She had huge tits, and she was all over me. So then she decides to go in for the kill and just the shit test to end all shit tests, and girls do this all the time. She asks, are you a player? So What I decided to do was agree and amplify. So my response was, well, I've got 5 wives and 12 girlfriends, so yes. Her response was LMAO. Okay? Then I just wait for her response. She then says, so the fake boob chick isn't your girlfriend? Again, that's another shit test. My response, again, I said, well, we don't cuddle after sex, so no. So right out of the gate, I'm letting her know the attractive woman, the attractive girl that was with me, yes, I am fucking her. This is where pre-selection comes into play. Just because you're with an attractive woman doesn't necessarily mean that you're fucking her. So she wanted to make sure that I wasn't her orbiter. She wanted to make sure that the girl that I was with was my orbiter, which obviously raises my sexual market value. So after I said we don't cuddle after sex, so no, she says, "OMG, you are totally a player." So then she just comes out with the outright accusation, "Oh, you're a player." And so I decided to just again agree and amplify. I said, "You have an eye for talent." She says LOL because now she knows what's going on. She knows I'm a man of value. She knows I fuck pretty girls. She knows that I'm not a creep. She knows that I'm pre-selected. I have the social proof. I have the pre-selection going on. So then I said, "See you at 7." She said, "Okay." We ended up not even going to the go-kart track. I actually fucked her right there in her apartment when I went to go there and pick her when I went to go and pick her up. Fucked her right there in her apartment, and we never went anywhere. We just basically fucked all night. A standard tenet of game that we preach here in the manosphere is that women don't want a man that other women don't want. You could be as ugly as Homemade Sin, guys. But if you have an attractive female with you, your sexual market value always spikes. And again, if you're a short guy, a balding guy, an ugly guy, if they see you with an attractive female, their minds start to race with possibilities. They wonder, okay, is he rich? Is he great in bed? Is he someone important? All of these things are going through a woman's mind when they see you with an attractive woman. And if you are an attractive man, they don't ask these questions. They assume that you are rich, or that you're great in the sack, or that you have money, or that you're a person of importance. Good looking women are. Listen, when you have good looking women with you, you almost don't even have to run game, because good looking women already show other good looking women that you are signed off on. Whether you have these assets or not, whether or not you're rich, whether or not you have a 12-inch cock, whether or not you have high status, that's irrelevant. The female hamster always assumes that a man has favorable traits when he's accompanied by attractive women. This is how this works. This is how they think. Once again, guys, this is why game is necessary, like I said at the top of this episode. Fuck buddies can be acquaintances too, if your game is on point. Whether I was fucking the girl I was with didn't matter to Trini. All that matters is that she thought I might be, and she ended up verbalizing as much. And that's what made her ripe for the picking. That's what made her almost too easy to fuck. Dude, I got to her place and we're talking for a little bit, and I don't know, I think she gave me like a whiskey sour or whatever, and dude, 30 minutes later, my dick's in her mouth. It was that easy. And she knew I was fucking somebody else. This is the power of pre-selection, and one of the many reasons that having good-looking female friends works in your favor with other women. Number 4, transference of their pussy pass. This one has personally paid huge dividends for me. It has been an extreme advantage. I've been zoomed to the front of countless nightclub lines. Back when I used to go to the club, anytime I had a really good looking girl with me, I never had to wait in line. Bouncers always let us in. I've been given preferential treatments in bars, and in other venues. I've even been let. Here's the deal. I've even been let off with a. How can I put this? I've even been let off with a warning on a couple of occasions. Involving not moving violations, but I have a tendency to park illegally. And every once in a while, when I get into my car, like the meter maid is there, and she's right in the meter maid is there, and the girl who's with me sort of makes conversation with the guy who is writing the ticket or whatever, and she didn't flash her tits, but yeah, like when people of authority are around me. If I'm getting written up for parking illegally, having a good-looking girl with me has gotten me out of more than one parking ticket. And this is because and only because I had a good-looking female with me. Understand this, guys. 95% of men in this part of the world are pathetic, thirsty ass white knights. Anytime they get a chance to impress even a half decent looking woman, they jump at it. Guys, I'm talking bouncers, the male meter maids like I was talking about, butchers, waiters, cashiers, bartenders, really any other male inhabited profession or post, they all gladly accept the pussy pass as a form of currency. Their desire to score brownie points with the good looking girl that I'm with, this means that each and every one of them will transfer her quote pussy pass membership privileges to you simply because she's with you. This happens all the time. Number 5, and this is a good one. They will hook you up with their friends. Your good-looking female friends will hook you up with their female friends. Another huge benefit of being acquainted with good-looking females are their friends. Look, guys, hot girls have hot friends, period. All women of all sexual market values, they take tremendous pride in being a quote-unquote matchmaker, even if it's just for a short hookup, or if it's a long-term relationship. Girls like to say, "Yeah, I introduced those two. I'm Susie Matchmaker." The combination of your game and social currency turns your female friends into and this is cool how this works. It turns them into your personal mouthpieces. And it's beautiful when you see this in action, because they won't hesitate to tell all of their girlfriends, all of their hot friends, what an amazing and awesome guy you are. It's like when you meet her hot friends, you don't even have to run game on her hot friend. She's running game for you. Yeah, hook up with my friend. He's an amazing, awesome guy. Blah 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 blah. And her friends are like, all right, well, hell, if she's signing off on him, yeah, I'll hook up with him a few times. In these instances, pre-selection, and again, when I'm talking about in these instances, I'm talking about hot girls hooking you up with their hot friends. In these instances, pre-selection, social proof, and screening, they're all taken care of in one fell swoop. Plus, if things go sideways with your hot friend's friends, your friend will take your side most of the time because A, your game is tight. Number 2, she doesn't want to lose the added social status she gains by being around you. And 3, girls are always looking for a reason to show dislike for one another, which really just kind of feeds their insatiable need for drama. Girls may be friends, but they're always looking for a reason to dislike each other. And if you fuck her and chuck her, and if the hookup goes awry or things go sideways, trust me, if your game is tight enough, if your female friend likes you enough, she will ditch her female friend to keep hanging around you. Listen, guys, I see this happen all the time. Number 6, you can sharpen your teasing skills. Teasing a woman, calling her names, calling her out on her bullshit, those are both surefire ways to build attraction with any woman, especially attractive women. When you have female friends you can practice on, and when you have female friends that you can practice on and sort of by repetition, you can hone these skills to the point where they almost become second nature to you. And because you're not trying to fuck your female friends, I mean, at least not yet, and I'll get to that in a minute, you can you can tease away, you can run experimental game on her without worrying her about offending her or fucking up the friendship. What's really happening here is that you're inadvertently gaming her, and she eventually may make a play to fuck you. Which, of course, leads to number 7, which is the number 7 benefit of having female friends, is you can turn them into fuck buddies. Now, understand this, guys. This isn't to suggest that you turn every one of your attractive female acquaintances into a fuck friend. But they are a good option to have around in case you hit a dry spell. Similar to what I talked about earlier about them hooking you up with their hot friends, all of the pre-selection, all the social proof, all the screening boxes, everything is checked. All right. Add all of that to the fact that she's comfortable with you. She knows you see through her bullshit. She knows you'll call her out on it, and that you add social value to her life. It's only a matter of time before she wants you to fuck her. This is inevitable. If you are a man of value and you have attractive female friends, they're gonna want to fuck you at some point. Now, the obvious drawback to this is that you'll likely lose her as an acquaintance. If you fuck a good-looking female friend of yours, you're not gonna fuck her forever. When you decide to drop her, she's not gonna want to be friends with you, unless of course she wants to keep fucking you. That happens sometimes, but most of the time, if you're fucking a good looking female friend of yours and you decide, you know what, it's over, she doesn't want to hang around you anymore because her feelings are hurt. You've rejected her. Now, you as a man of value, you have an abundance mentality. You know that this isn't a big deal because look, man, females really are a dime a dozen in any capacity, whether they're friends, fuck friends, or what have you. However, depending upon how much value she brings to your life, you might want to think long and hard about whether letting her go as an asset is worth fucking her. You might have a female friend who's a fucking 10, but you might have a female friend who's the fucking hottest girl in town, but if she gets you into clubs all the time, if she gets you served at restaurants, if she brings more value to her life, if she brings more value to your life than is worth fucking her, then you might want to say to yourself, you know what, I'd really love to fuck this girl, but when I drop her, I'm gonna lose that pussy pass. I'm gonna lose that pre-selection. You have to ask yourself in your mind, is it really worth fucking this girl a few times, but then losing but then losing all of the social currency and all the pre-selection? It varies from girl to girl. Listen, a lot of times I've chosen not to fuck an attractive female friend because of the value they bring to my life. If a female friend is hooking you up with her hot female friends, well, look, man, 8 pussies is better than one, okay? Because if you fuck her, you're going to end up ditching her to the curb. Now you don't have access to all of her hot friends, unless, of course, you've hit on all of her hot friends and they all have your phone number. Keeping her around may not be worth it. Keeping her around may be worth it, but understand that if you turn an attractive female friend into a fuck buddy, eventually your friendly relationship is going to end. That's just how it is. Number 8, the last and final benefit to having female friends, according to the book of Donovan Sharp here, is consistent red pill confirmation. Women, try as they might, okay, they can try all they want to. Women are unable to hide their vapid, their slutty, westernized ways. Listen, guys, I have overheard and been involved in many conversations with this girl or that about how she's looking for Mr. Right and where have all the good men gone, and then in the same breath talk about that guy who fucked her senseless last night. All right, one good friend, oh my God, one friend of mine down in Vegas actually admitted to me that she had fucked more than 60 guys, which means she's probably fucked close to 200, but she still feels that she deserves a man who has a good job, will take care of her son, has a six-pack, and fucks her like her baby daddy. This is exactly what she said. She says, I want a guy with a six-pack, he has a good job, and he fucks me like my baby daddy. This is what she said to me. She was hot, but dude, she was a slut. She doesn't deserve a guy like that. And no, I definitely did not fuck her. Another female acquaintance of mine, again, good looking girl, she's probably about an 8 or a 9. She's actually married, and the guy she's married to has his own business. He has a painting business. She's got the house. She's got the kid. Literally, their house has a white picket fence. They even have a dog. His name was Barley. Okay, she's living the American dream. So you think so far so good, right? Well, guess what? She told me about some affair she had with. She worked as a cocktail waitress at a casino who swept her off her feet, and they started this affair. And she told me that she actually contemplated leaving her husband to move to Modesto, California, with this guy. It was unbelievable. All women are like that, gentlemen, and the more you hang around them, the further your red pill conditioning is drilled into your skull. Female friends will ensure that you never slip back into the blue pill beta bitch boy ways that landed you in the manosphere in the first place. And to me, that is the number one advantage to having female friends, is consistent red pill confirmation. To wrap this thing up, we all know that most females in this country they're becoming increasingly useless. It is like the quicker time passes by, as time goes on, females are. It seems that they're not able to give. They're not able to give men any value. It's like the further we get along, the less value they're able to bring to a man's life outside of sex. But these 8 benefits, guys, that I just pointed out, they have the potential to keep your game and your red pill mindset sharp. But you have to stay on your P's and Q's. You can't listen. Don't start fucking your attractive female friends and get one-itis. Listen, like I said in my intro, a woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. That's absolutely right, especially good-looking females. You're just the next person in line. It's just your turn at that time. Do not fall for your hot female friends. It is a mistake. Listen, guys, I've done it before, man. Listen, man, I started fucking a good-looking female friend of mine, and I got wrapped up in her. And she ended up fucking other dudes, man. And it hurt because I really liked her. But that taught me at that point, look, man, you can't... Listen, you can't get serious. You can't get one-itis. And listen, guys, it is hard to train your mind not to get one-itis with females who are 8s, 9s, and 10s. I'm here to tell you, I can tell you all I want to. Don't fall in love with hot girls. Guys, it ain't easy, man. Hot girls are hot, especially if the sex is good and she's dressing slutty for you all the time. It is very, very hard not to fall for these women. But just because it's easier said than done doesn't mean it can't still be done, and it absolutely has to. As is the case with all female interactions, keep your wits about you and proceed with caution. Females can and will turn on you at the drop of a hat for no good reason. But like I said, if you're running solid game, if you stay on your P's and Q's, you keep the red pill doctrines, the game tenets, the game rules in the front of your mind, any sort of trouble or drama shouldn't be much of a problem. There's never going to be a problem that you can't handle. That does it for this edition of TSR. If you liked this episode, make sure, guys, you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget, guys, to visit DonovanSharpe.com anytime to listen to past episodes and check out additional content. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you next time.